Have you ever had a problem with the TaxMan? Every year, hundreds of thousands of taxpayers, people who dutifully file their tax returns, get an unpleasant shock. It usually starts in the form of a letter from Revenue Canada, challenging a deduction made on the tax return and requesting receipts. Or the TaxMan may have information that suggests you neglected to include investment interest in your income, and he's sending you a new assessment of your taxes owing. Sometimes it's a letter announcing that your tax file has been chosen for an audit. Words to strike fear into the heart of even the most honest taxpayer. It doesn't happen because you cheated on your tax return. It's simply because this year the TaxMan's targeting truck drivers or home renovation contractors or freelance advertising executives. And since you work in that category, you're included in the list of lucky auditees. If none of the above has happened to you, you can count yourself lucky, because it most surely has already happened to someone you know. And if it's someone you work with or someone you work for, you may eventually be caught up in the TaxMan's net. After 40 years as a tax lawyer, with some of those years spent working for Revenue Canada before I went into private practice, I can tell you with certainty that every Canadian who pays taxes needs to understand that the TaxMan is not on your side. He's not your friend. It's his job to collect as much money as he can possibly to feed the beast, voracious government programs. And in doing so, he's unafraid to destroy you financially. Here's some of the ways you can run afoul of the TaxMan. You can be late in filing a tax return, maybe because you've been ill, or had a devastating family problem, or your employer can make an error in payroll deductions, and years later, the TaxMan will come after you to make up the discrepancy. Or you can make an incorrect assumption in the way you calculate your business revenues and end up with a tax bill so large that even if you sold your home and car, you still wouldn't have enough to pay it. Every day we hear from people with problems like these, and every day we show people how, as tax lawyers, we can work on your behalf to negotiate a settlement with the TaxMan that will preserve your financial ability to carry on with your life. Just as important, as tax lawyers, we are also able to ensure that as part of our negotiations, you're protected from prosecution for criminal tax evasion.